Well, hey everybody, I trust your week is going well. Wanted to give you an update that Pastor Rick is back home again, the way it sounds. Though I haven't seen him, I did get confirmation from Jay Groders that they made it back safely this morning, which is Tuesday morning, very early, and he's back home again. So glad for that. Look forward to hearing a little bit more about all the things he experienced on the trip and the fruit of any work that they were able to do there. I'm sure you are too. So if you were here last Sunday or watching online, you know that we started a new series on the book of Colossians. I think it got off to a great start. It's a great text with lots of good history, meaningful things for the people of Colossae, but also for us as the church today, things that we can really take. If you were here, you saw and heard lots and lots and lots of potential application points, probably too many for us to really work through, right? And so one of the ironically funny things is I didn't really get to our theme that we've talked or that we will be talking about for the whole series. Like in Luke, you heard us say time and time again that encountering Jesus will change your life, right? And so for this series of Colossians, what we're talking about is this idea of all in. And living a life worthy of the Lord is kind of what it comes down to. And that's that passage that we looked at, or part of the passage we looked at out of chapter 1, where it talks about, Paul writes this in verse 9 and then 10. We continually ask God to fill you with the knowledge of His will. We talked a lot about that on Sunday, through all the wisdom and understanding that the Spirit gives, so we can know God's will because the Spirit gives us wisdom and understanding. And then there's a so that next in verse 10. We want you to have all that so that you may live a life worthy of the Lord and please Him in every way. And that's really led us towards this idea of being all in our lives. And so what are some things that come to your mind with this concept of being all in? Now, I'll be honest, one of the first things that comes to my mind is watching a TV show or a movie, some people sitting at a poker table and somebody pushing all their chips in. They're all in on this particular hand, and they feel confident about what they have in their hand, what they see, and that they'll be able to win. And so they're willing to risk it all, to put it all out there. Now, say what you want. That's a TV show, poker. Maybe you like poker. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think it's a horrible thing to even think about. But that's just what came to my mind. What are some other times when in life we have to be all in? Maybe it could be easy that a sports team might say that, a football team or an athlete within a sport potentially. Maybe at some point in your life, maybe you've run a big event like a marathon or a half marathon, or maybe a 5K for people like me would be, boy, I have to be committed. I have to be all in to even pull off something like that. Maybe you've gone all in your life over a diet. You either got a diagnosis at a doctor's appointment or encouragement, or you just didn't like the way that you looked in the mirror. And so you decided to go all in on a diet, and you've fasted, or you cut out certain foods, or you did whatever you needed to lose weight. And so to do that, you had to go all in. Maybe for you it was a business venture, something that you took a step out of what you normally did. You invested in a business. You started one up, whatever that might be. At some point in your life, you decide to go all in there. Or maybe just a simple career change of changing from one company to another. You had to go all in for that to happen. We do that potentially many times throughout our lives, where we have to decide if I'm really in this or not. And that's really what we're trying to help you see as we go through the book of Colossians. When it comes to faith in Jesus and following Him with your life, living a life worthy of the Lord and pleasing Him in every way, well, that really has to be an all-in mindset when it comes to the way that you're going to live. Does your faith in Christ challenge you? Are you led by the Spirit to say, I need to be committed to this? This is who I am. This is who I'm going to be, etc. And so you'll see on our background slide, I'm going to just show you that a minute and you can see this. We picked a few pictures. Pastor Steve actually does these kinds of things here and did a great job with this. And some pictures that kind of give you, that point towards some places that you need to decide, are you all in? We, of course, have the cross there in the upper left corner, I think it is, that Jesus had to go all in, but also for us when it comes to our faith, are you willing to go all in? Below that, you see what looks to be a picture of a family. If you are raising children with a husband, wife, you need to be all in your commitment to each other and to raising those kids. Friendship, that's what comes to mind when I see those two hands reaching out and for each other, right? Like real friendship is all in. This is a person that you trust and vice versa with the details of your life. On the right side, you can see work. Again, we talked a little bit about that, but to me, that picture signifies work. Is work something that you're committed to? And does your faith permeate the way that through what you do in work? Then we see some hands folded, I think it is, but prayer is what that signifies to me. Are you all in when it comes to prayer? You've heard me say this multiple times, that is a continual thing for me to look in the mirror at with my own prayer life. Am I committed to prayer? If I was to be honest, there are not a lot of times that I probably am not as committed as I could and should be. And then the last one there, what comes to mind for me there is the breaking of bread, the community, the fellowship, the hospitality of having an open home perhaps, and spending time with other believers, or even with those outside the faith that you are trying to build community with, and hopefully one day to help them or plant seeds so that they can draw nearer to the Lord as well. So there you go. We're going to be talking about this idea of all in for the next couple of months as we go through an amazing book, an amazing letter that Paul wrote to the people of Colossae that we can still learn a lot from today. Have a great week, as it certainly is turning to fall. Here I am wearing a flannel shirt already. So have a great week. We'll see many of you this weekend.